Okay, so in this video, we're going to put together our cute little heart freebie box. Now I just want to go over the pieces really quick here. We've got this piece that goes on the lid. These are the three pieces for the bottom, and then here's some pieces for our little bow, and then this is the lid, okay? Now, the lid and the bottom, they go together the same exact way, so I'm not going to show you both, okay? But if you take a look here, well, obviously, the lid is a lot shorter, okay? So you know that this is the lid, this is the bottom. Now, as far as these hearts go, these hearts are going to cut out with the lid, these hearts are going to cut out with the bottom, so you'll know what goes where, okay? So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm simply just going to put together the lid, which again goes together the same way as the bottom, okay? Now, one thing to keep in mind is this part here, this is going to be this part of the heart, okay? So it's the little butt part of the heart. That's where that goes. And then eventually this is going to curl around. So what I did was I took this and held it pretty much just above the score line and here and ran it across the edge of my table to kind of give it a little bit of a curve, okay? So that you're not struggling with trying to keep this thing bent. Okay, and I'm going to do that on both sides. I'm just running it along the edge of my desk to give it a natural curve, okay? Now the next thing we're going to do is simply glue this together by putting glue on this tab here. And we want to make sure that we get it out to the edge there. Okay, so just slide that tab under and do your best to get that nice and lined up. Okay, and just hold that in place while it dries, and you can actually bend this in half. It should be perfectly flush. That's how you know you've got it right. Okay, now in the old days, we used to just take this and form it like so, and just try to glue that on top. But with a piece like this, because it's so round, that sometimes can prove to be a little difficult. So the next thing you want to do is push your tabs down. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to take the little piece with the L on it. L is for liner, okay? So what we're going to do is this part here, we're going to take our liner and we're going to jam it in there like so, okay? Now again, this is, because it's such a small piece, what we're going to do is we're going to take our glue and we're going to put glue on just the first 4 little tabs from the center crease. Okay, so just the first 4. And I'm going to stick my liner inside here and I'm going to curve it and I'm going to try to get that score mark to butt up inside that little corner there. And I am going to hold that down at those tabs that we just put glue on. And actually, it may be more helpful if you just do 2 at a time, like 2 on one side. Okay, so just these 2 maybe. I would just start with those 2. Okay, and then once you have those 2 in place, go ahead and put glue on the 2 on the opposite side of that score mark. And try to push that in and then hold those tabs down so that it gets a good hold. Okay, so you see how we've got these first 4 tabs glued down. Now it's okay if there's a little bit of excess glue sticking out, because ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to put this piece right over all of that. Okay, now looking inside, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, just kind of bending that a little bit. And all we're going to do at this point is just take and start putting glue on the remaining tabs. And I'm just going to do like, I don't know, like 10 at a time maybe. It's up to you how many you want to do. You can do more, you can do less. And what I'm doing now is I'm putting this down on my surface and I'm pushing down with my finger and I'm pushing in with this finger to get everything nice and aligned. Okay, so it just kind of makes the job that much easier. I'm just kind of running my finger along that little corner there. So you can see that those are nice and glued down. Now, just from the looks of it, I'm probably putting too much glue in there, and that's okay, because again, it's going to be covered up. So maybe with the remaining tabs here, try to put less glue on there. Just really tiny little dots of glue. You don't need that much. Okay. And then you can go ahead and fold these over slightly, and then put that down on your surface. Push down from inside and in from outside up against that liner. Okay, so you see how that's going together. And really all you need to do at this point is just work your way around the rest of this piece, doing exactly what I've been doing here, where I'm just putting little bits of glue on these tabs. Okay. And then I'm going to push them over slightly. Put this down on my surface. And again, just pushing down from the inside and pushing in from the outside to push that wall of the heart up against that liner. Okay. So you're literally going to repeat this process with the bottom. It's absolutely the same exact process, minus the fact that we're dealing with a piece that's just slightly taller. So you're going to do the same exact process with the bottom of the box, and nothing is different. Now you see what I did there? I just put a line of glue on the actual surface there, and I'm doing that because this thing's almost together, and I don't really need to worry about it kind of coming apart at all. So just doing exactly what I did before. And again, when you're working on the bottom, it's going to be the exact same process. Okay, nothing is different from the bottom and the top other than the height of this. Everything else goes together the same exact way. Okay, so the heart is put together. And now if you have like a stray little piece here or there, just go ahead and touch it up. Okay, all right. Got one more little stray here, and you do want to hold that down in place while it gets a good grip. Okay, so again, just do this for the bottom and for the top. And then, once you have your bottom and top together, what you're going to do is you want to just put a really, really, really thin line of glue in the center here. You don't want it to be too bulky because it might kind of warp the paper. Okay, and then very quickly, get some glue on the perimeter. Okay, and what I like to do is I will take this and I will spread it out. Try to get it out to that edge there because you want it to look nice and clean. And I'll show you a little tip once we get this down on how to polish that up and make it look really good. Okay, so, oops. So you're just going to go ahead and align your heart with the base of the lid there, which we already did. Okay, just kind of work your way around, getting that in place. There we go. I had a little too much there in the center. Okay, and now if you feel like there's some areas that are kind of lifting up a little bit like that, you can actually just take like, well, I'm trying to find my little pick-me-up tool. Okay, well I can't find my little pick-me-up tool, but if you have a spatula, which most of you do, or just something really thin, I'm using this little hook here just to put something really thin that you can stick between those layers of paper. Got a little bit of glue on there, and what I'm going to do is this little area that I didn't do a good job on, I'm just going to raise it up just slightly, and I'm going to go ahead and just run some glue along the top or the bottom surface. Okay, and as soon as you get that glue on there, just push and hold that down until it really holds. Okay, and I'll show you the difference here in a second. Okay, so there you go. You see how much cleaner that looks now. Okay, so we have our heart. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to glue that down like that. Okay, and then all that's left to do is create your little bow. And I'm going to take and just kind of train this, because ultimately we're going to curve it and I don't want to crease it. So I'm gently rolling it between my fingers to kind of round it. Okay, now if you have a dowel, you can take the dowel and really curve it without worrying about creasing it too much. You can even take it and kind of roll it onto the dowel. Okay, so that's going to prevent this from creasing. And then what we're going to do is just kind of glue that in the center. So I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of glue right in the middle of this thing. Okay, I'm going to squeeze these two little tabs and join them in the center, trying to ensure that I keep the bow symmetrical looking too. I'm just going to hold that in the middle, like so. Give it a few seconds. Now there's some resistance there, so make sure you hold it until it really gets a good grip. Okay, and then we're going to put just a little dot of glue in the center there. We can put this piece right in the center. So we got this cute little bow here, and then this piece here, you just put a little dot of glue on the back and just glue that to the back like that. Okay, and then you can pop dot that or glue that right onto your heart, and you are all done.
Stay on top of all things Dreaming Tree and engage with us today. Get the latest news and enter in our giveaways on Facebook. Get inspired by following us on Pinterest. Be the first to see our new product launches on Instagram. Do you prefer Twitter? Yep, we're there too. Watch our beautiful product trailers and assembly tutorials on YouTube. For more information, visit www.3dsvg.com. Live, craft, love, and dream.